Hello. Today, I'm going to talk about a problem in our world. Depression is a serious issue, and even the mildest cases can be extremely severe. It is not something to overlook. It is not something to try and tough it out on your own. You can't simply walk it off or tough it out or anything like that. You need outside help in all cases, except for very few, so few that it's better to just assume that you're in the majority. Depression is a very painful condition, mentally painful. I cannot stress this enough. You do not understand how bad it can get. I have very mild depression, extremely mild. And when I'm not on my medication, in the worst cases, I do have suicidal thoughts. When I'm not on my medication. Medication is very helpful when it works. Not all medication works for everyone. Most medication doesn't work for everyone. Although, it is likely that you can find a medication that will help. Maybe it won't cure you. Maybe you don't want to be dependent. Well, it's better than not having that medication, isn't it? If you can get any help, do so. If you're denying someone help, stop. Stop denying them the help they need. If you don't feel it's worth helping, you don't feel that that person has any value. That's what that means by you not helping. If you feel they have any value at all, you will do everything you can to help them. To imagine what it's like to go through depression. The pain is akin to, imagine the worst pain you've been in. Multiply it by, say, 10. It was a brief period of time, probably, that you're in the most pain you're in. Depression is a mental pain. Depression is constant, unavoidable, inescapable. For as long as you have it, it never stops. Well, sometimes it varies, with sometimes having more effect, sometimes having less effect, just randomly, depending on, well, I don't even know. With my mild depression, yeah, well, that was not much, but it was absolute agony. And if mild is absolute agony, you have no idea what the other end of the spectrum is. I have no idea. I don't want to know. I wish no one had to know. I wish it didn't exist, but it does. If you can do anything to help someone, do so. if you have depression, one of the things I've heard is that, and I quote, "I wish I had no emotions." I've heard that from multiple people. That exact quote from multiple people with depression. I may have said it at one point. I got past my depression. And then something came up that was, well, extremely mentally stressful. And some people, and there is actually a mental defense mechanism that basically that numbs your emotions entirely. I was so overstressed that it kicked in. It was a nice relief. But, well, it was a nice relief at first, but later, I wanted it to be over. I knew that there was an end to the cause of the stress, the pain, and it came. And with the end of the stress and the pain came the end of the emptiness, the nothingness, the numbness. I was able to fight through it because I knew that it was going to stop. If you get to the point, the only way for it to stop is if the source of the pain stops. And with depression, there is no indication that it is going to stop until you get help and it does start to stop. With the emptiness, to explain what it is, imagine feeling absolutely nothing. No negative, no positive, nothing. Might seem better than horrible, but with no release, no emotions, no positive to motivate you to do things, no negative to motivate you to change bad things. Just completely unmotivated. You start becoming lazy and feeling there's no point to doing anything. Things start to mean nothing. You don't do things and you start to feel that you mean nothing. Other people, you have no emotions, so nothing means anything. And the only way you can fight through it is if you know a way out is coming. And with depression, it's not that easy. You don't know there's a way out coming always. You don't see that way out always. Sometimes you never see it at all. Sometimes you do find a way out, sometimes you don't. Me, my numbness wasn't because of depression, mine was overstress at a specific factor that I understood. And I saw the end. I knew when that factor would be gone. I knew when I would have a break. I knew when I would be released. So I was able to fight through. For those who aren't lucky enough to have a definite way out, they have another feeling alongside the negative. The negatives I said before. Hopelessness. With no way out in sight, they feel unmotivated, uncaring. They feel like nothing. They feel hopeless, that it's endless. And if you mean nothing, if you're not helping anyone, what point do you feel in being alive? None. Until you find a way out. You find your emotions again. And you manage to actually survive. Because being numb, empty, you're dead. That's actually being met. I classify that as being emotionally dead. You can be saved from it, but it takes a lot. Most importantly, removing the source of the pain. Above all else, that must happen. Because if it doesn't, well,